Hello everyone. How are you? I hope you're doing great. Happy Thanksgiving, even though I'm kind of late by like a day. Uh yeah. Happy Thanksgiving. Um I'm grateful for you guys. Very, very grateful. Thank you for the support. Thank you for all the love you show me. Um Thank you. It truly means a lot as per usual. And uh yeah, I hope you guys had a good, had a good set of food, you know. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. I just hope that you guys, had a good Thanksgiving. That's a bird. And even if you didn't have a good Thanksgiving or you don't even celebrate Thanksgiving at all, I just hope you had a good day. And, you guys are doing good, you guys are safe, you know, you guys are happy, whatever. That sounds really weird. But yeah, hi. um, I am not sure if I sound sick. I think I do. Like, sound like I'm about to be sick. Cause like I drank milk like an hour ago, and it's like my voice sounds like I'm sick, and I hope I'm not sick because I hate being sick. The pros is that hey, maybe I could do like a sick audio or something, but at the same time, it's like I just want to sleep. I hate like I hate being sick because it's like I want to do so much and I can't because my body's like nah, no, you have to sleep, and that's all they have to do. Anyways, I don't know if you can tell, but this is another cat reads teehee yippee because I can't find any scripts that I want to do, and usually I really don't like to pull stuff unless I feel good about it. Like, it's good that people listen, don't get me wrong, and the support is great. But if like I'm not satisfied with something, I'm not gonna post it. Because if I don't like listening to myself, which is like every time I edit, if I don't like listening to what I did, why should I subject other people to that? I don't want your ears to bleed. I don't want that for you. That's not good. Anyways, so I'm gonna continue reading This Is How You Lose a Time War. Yay! Rah! This is probably gonna be unedited as per usual and come off kind of hazy. This might be 20 minutes, it might be less. Who knows at this point? Who knows? Anyways, so yeah, this is the continuation of This Is How You Lose the Time War. A glass jar of water boils in an MRI machine. In defiance of proverbs, Blue watches it. When Blue wins, which is always, she moves on to the next thing. She's savors? I think that's savors. She savors her victories in retrospect, between missions, recalls them only while traveling, up thread into the stable path past, or down thread into the frame future. As one recalls beloved lines of poetry, she combs or snarls the strands of time's braid with the finesse of brutality, or can I read? With the finesse or brutality required of her, and leaves. She is not in the habit of sticking around because she is not in the habit of failing. The MRI machine is in a 21st century hospital, remarkably empty, evacuated. Blue observes, but never conspicuous to begin with. Nestled in the green heart of a forest bisected by borders. The hospital was meant to be full. Blue's job was a delicate matter of infection. One doctor in particular to intrigue with a new strain of bacteria, to lay the groundwork for twisting her world towards or away from biological warfare, depending on how the other side responded to Garden's move. But the opportunities vanish. The loophole closed, and the only thing there for Blue to find is a jar labeled Red by Bubbling. Read. Why did I read that past tense? Read by bubbling. So she lingers by the MRI machine, musing as she does on the agonies of symmetry, recording the water's randomness. The magnetic bones settled like reading glasses on the thermodynamic face of the universe. I can read, guys. I swear. I swear. Registering each bloom and burst of molecule before it transforms. Once it translates the last of the water's heat into numbers, she takes the printout in her right hand and fits the key of it into the lock of the letter-strewn sheet in her left. She reads, and her eyes widen. She reads, and the data gets harder to extract from the depth of her fists clench. But she laughs, too, and the sound echoes down the hospital's empty halls. She is unaccustomed to be thwarted. Something about it tickles, even as she meditates on how to phase shift failure into opportunity. Blue shreds the data sheet and the ciphertext, then picks up a crowbar. In her wake, a seeker enters the hospital's rooms rack. The hospital room's rack. Finds the MRI machine, breaks into it. The jar of water is cool. She tips this tepid liquid down her throat. My most insidious blue. How does one begin this sort of thing? It's been so long since I started a new conversation. We're not so isolated as you are, not so locked in our own heads. We think in public. Our notions inform one another, correct, expand, reform, which is why we win. Even in training, the other cadets, and I knew one other as one, knows a childhood dream. I'd greet comrades I thought I'd never met before, only to find we'd already crossed paths in some strange corner of the cloud before we knew who we were. So, I am not skilled in taking up correspondence, but I have scanned enough books and indexed enough examples to essay the form. Most letters begin with a direct address to the reader. I've done that already, so next comes shared business. I'm sorry you couldn't meet the good doctor. She's important. More to the point, her sister's children will be. If she visits them this afternoon, and they discuss patterns in birdsong, which she will have done already by the time you decipher this note, my cunning methods for spiriting her from her clutches, engine trouble. A good spring day, a suspiciously effective and cheap remote access software suite her hospital purchased 2 years ago, which allows the good doctor to work from home. Thus we braid strand 6 into strand 9, and our glorious crystal future shines so bright I gotta wear shades, as the prophets say. Why is it so windy? Anyways, remembering our last encounter, I thought it best to ensure you twist no other ground lengths to your purpose, hence the bomb threat. Crude, but effective. I appreciate your subtlety. Not every battle's grand, not every weapon fierce. Even who we fight wars through time forget the value of a word. In the right moment, a rattle in the right car engine, a nail in the right horseshoe. It's so easy to crush a planet that you may overlook the value of a whisper to a snowbank. Address the reader. Done. Discuss shared business. Done. Almost. I imagine you laughing at this letter, in disbelief. I've seen you laugh, I think, in the ever victorious army ranks, as your dupes burned the summer palace and I rescued what I could have, the Emperor's marvelous clockwork devices. You marched scornful and fierce through the halls, hunting an angel you didn't know was me. So imagine fire glinting off your teeth. You think you've wormed inside me, planted seeds or spores in my brain, whatever vegetal metaphor suits your fancy. But here, I've repaid your letter with my own. Now we have a correspondence, which, if your superiors discover it, will start a chain of questions I anticipate you'll find uncomfortable. Who's infecting whom? We know from our Horus Trojans in my time. Will you respond, establishing complicity, continuing our self-destructive paper trail, just to get in the last word? Will you cut off, leaving my note to spin its fractal math inside you? I wonder which I'd rather. Finally, conclude. This was fun. My regards to the vast and trunkless leg of stone. Red. Red puzzles through a labyrinth of bones. Other pilgrims wander here, in saffron robes or homespun brown. Sandals shuffle over rocks, and high winds whistle around cave corners. Ask the pilgrims how the labyrinth came to be, and they offer answers varied as their sins. Giants made it, this one claims, before the gods slew the giants, then abandoned Earth to its fate at mortal hands. Yes, this is Earth. long before the Ice Age and the Mammoth, long before academics many centuries down thread will think it possible for the planet to have spawned pilgrims or labyrinths. Earth. The first snake built the labyrinth, says another, screwing down through the rock to hide from the judgment of the sun. Erosion made it, says a third, and the grand dumb motion of tectonic plates. Force is too big for we cockroaches to conceive, too slowly for mayflies to observe. They pass among the dead, under chandeliers of shoulder blades. Rose windows outlined by rib cages, metacarpals outline looping flowers. Red asks the other pilgrims nothing. She has had her mission. She takes care. She should meet no opposition as she makes a small twist this far thread. At the labyrinth's hearth? At the labyrinth's heart, there is a cavern, and soon into that cavern will come a gust of wind. And if that wind whistles over the right fluted bones, one pilgrim will hear the cry as an omen that would drive him to renounce all worldly goods and retreat to build a hermitage. The amount of times I stuttered. Hermitage. on a distant mountain slope, so that the hermitage will exist in 200 yards to shelter a woman fleeing with child in a storm. And so it goes. A stone rolling, so in 3 centuries you'll have an avalanche. Little flash to such an assignment, less challenge. So long as she stays on script, not even a taunt to disturb her path. Did her adversary, did Blue, ever read her letter? I read that terribly. Did her adversary, did Blue ever read her letter? Red likes raking it right. Oh my, I need to drink some water. I've been reading and not a, a set of water that I drank. Stay hydrated, guys, please. I beg. It's really good for your body. Just don't drink too much. Like, stay hydrated, but like, don't overdo it, you know? Where was I? Red liked writing it. Winning tastes sweet, but sweeter still to triumph and tease, to dare reprisal. Every op, I think you would say it as op, and not OP. Every op since, she's watched her back, moves with double caution, waiting for payback, or for commandant to find her small breath of discipline, and bring the Scrooge. Scourge. Scourge? I think I think it's Scourge. And bring the Scourge. Yeah, oh my gosh. Red has had her excuses ready. Since her disobedience, she's been a better agent, more meticulous, but no reply has come. Perhaps she was wrong. Perhaps her enemy does not care after all. The pilgrims follow guides down the path of wisdom. Red departs and wanders narrow, twisting passages in the dark. Darkness does not bother her. Her eyes do not work like normal eyes. She scents the air, and olfactory analysis flash into her brain, offering a trail. At a particular niche, she draws from her satchel a small tube that sheds red light on the skeletons arrayed within. The first time she does this, she finds nothing. The second, her light glints off a pulsing stripe on the femur, that jaw. Satisfied, she adds femur and jaw to her bag, then banishes the light and wanders deeper down. Imagine her in utter night, invisible. Imagine the footsteps one by one that never tire, never slip on cave dust or gravel. Imagine the precision with which her head swivels on her thick neck, swinging a measured arc from side to side. Here, you can just. Gyroscopes whir in her gut, lenses click beneath the camouflage jelly of those pure black eyes. She moves as fast as possible within operating parameters. More red lights. More bones join the others in the sack. She does not need to check her watch. A timer ticks down in the corner of her vision. When she thinks she's found the bones she needs, she descends. Far below the path of wisdom, the masters of this dark place run out of corpses. The niches remain, waiting perhaps for Red. Even the niches stop, eventually. Soon after that, guards set upon her, eyeless giants grown by the sharp-toothed mistresses of this place. The giant's nails are yellow, thick, and cracked, and their breath smells better than one might expect. Red breaks them quickly and quietly. She has no time for the less violent approach. When she can no longer hear their moans, she reaches the cavern. She knows by the changed echoes of her footsteps that she has found the place. When she kneels and stretches forth her hand, she feels 10 centimeters of remaining ledge, then the abyss. Strong cold wind gusts past her. The earth's own breath, or some great monsters far below. It howls. The noise clatters off the bones. Mobiles the nuns make down here. I read that sentence so weird. It's like I read it, paused it, like really, like way too long, and then read again. Anyways, to remind themselves of the impertinence of flesh. The bones sing and turn, hanging from marrow twine in the darkness. Red feels her way along the ledge until she finds one of the great anchored tree trunks from which the mobiles hang. She shimmies out. Excuse me. She shimmies out upon the trunk until she reaches the bone of the ancient nun, hung by some other. The countdown clock in her the countdown clock in her eye warns her how little time is left. She cuts the old bones free with her diamond sharp nails, and she takes their replacements from her pack, strings them one by one with marrow twine, connecting skulls and fibula, jaw and sternum, coccyx and xiphoid process, I think. The timer ticks down. 7, 6. She ties the knot rapidly, by touch. Her limbs inform her that they ache where they clutch this ancient trunk above an unfathomable drop. 3, 2. She lets the bones fall into the pit. 0. A wind of wind, a rush of wind, a wind of wind. Wow. Oh my. A rush of wind splits the earth, a roar in darkness. Red clutches the petrified trunk closer than the lever. The wind peaks, screams, tosses bones about. A new note rises above the ossuary? 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 Clatter, woken by the cavern's wind whistling over. Precise fluted pits in the bones, red as hung. The note grows, shifts, and swells into a voice. Red listens, teeth bared in an expressive beard. Not barred. That's one R, not two. Teeth barred. Bared. I said the wrong word again. Teeth barred. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna crash out. Teeth bared in an expression that if she saw it mirrored, she could not name. There's awe there, yes. And fury. What else? She scans the lightless cavern. She detects no heat signal. Signature. Oh my gosh. She detects no heat signature. No movement, no rudder ping, no EM emissions or cloud trail. Of course not. She feels gloriously exposed, ready for the gunshot or the moment of truth. Too soon, the wind dies, and the voice with it. Okay. So, I guess we're gonna end it here. Um, if you're still here after so long, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. But yeah. Thank you for listening, as per usual. I hope you somewhat enjoyed me reading and fumbling over myself for like 20 minutes. But yeah. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for all the love. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next audio. Bye!